Pokimane is officially leaving Twitch and will start streaming on YouTube tomorrow. Now, I know it feels like every time a content creator decides to stream on a different website, Sumito's got to make a video about it, but you got to understand that Pokimane is one of the faces of Twitch, like their biggest mascot. Her deciding to move to a rival company for whatever reason, that'd be like if the Burger King decided, hey, you know what, you Whopper-loving fucks, I like Big Macs now.
That's a lot of nuts!
Before the video starts, I want to give a big shout out to today's sponsor, Into the AM. You guys have seen me wearing their clothes inside, outside, left side, right side, and they're sponsoring this video so that you guys can get drippy, and sippy. Guys, before I started wearing Into the AM, I had 0 Riz. And now I can proudly say that I have above 0 Riz. Guys, Into the AM is not a clothing company, okay? They're a group of creatives and artists who wanted to empower you, a creative or artist, to be able to express yourself through clothing. This isn't a t-shirt, it's the Mona Lisa. They've got a fantastic selection of basically anything you can think of. Think of something right now. Is it a t-shirt? They have those. Think of something else. Pants? I think they've got those too. Their hoodies are comfy, their underwear stretchy, their graphic t-shirts are graphic and t-shirts. I don't think I have ever clicked on their website and not seen them running some sort of sale. Everything is so incredibly affordable, and you get an additional 10% off of your entire order on top of the sales with discount code Sumito. You can go there right now and the things I just said will be true. Thank you so much to Into the AM for sponsoring yet another video. Love you guys. Go get yourself some threads. Discount code Sumito for an additional 10% off. Let's get back into the video. Transition. All right, so let's cut to the chase. What's going on? Really, it's basically the same story you've heard with every content creator who leaves Twitch and decides to move to YouTube, except ever so slightly different. There doesn't seem to be some sort of massive purchase price that YouTube is giving Pokimane in order for her to switch over from one platform to another. Instead, in Pokimane's own words, she's coming to the end of her contract, and instead of deciding to re-sign up with Twitch, she's decided to take this opportunity to not sign exclusively to stream with anybody and to give a go on streaming on some of the other platforms, starting with YouTube tomorrow. Pokimane cites a lot of the issues with the platform leading to her decision to be some of the stuff that we've heard about all throughout time. She describes Twitch as a company that's a bit messy, and that's absolutely true in the way that they go about enforcing certain rules, standards when it comes to nudity and attire, sexuality, people getting banned for reasons that don't seem to make any sense, and other people only getting a slap on the wrist for blatantly breaking policies and rules that have been set in stone for a while. Twitch isn't exactly the company that you want to put your eggs in the basket of if what you value is transparency or even fairness half the time. The new CEO of Twitch, Dan Clancy, has gone live on his Twitch account and also spoken on a number of different interviews, speaking about some of the changes that they're making to Twitch. One of the biggest ones is obviously the big layoff that they had to do in the beginning of January, so is in line with a bunch of other tech companies. But he also spoke to a lot of other budget saving and cost allocating moves that Twitch is making going forward. One of the most notable of which, that I feel like almost nobody is talking about, is the fact that Dan Clancy has said that they're stepping back from providing massive contracts, huge amounts of money to big streamers to keep them streaming on Twitch, which, if you're one of the 20 people that are making $1 million+ from streaming, is bad news for you. But the addition of the Partner Plus program and other things that they're doing to help provide more money to growing streamers, people closer to my size and above, has made it seem as though Twitch is making good movements in order to stop blowing tons of money on keeping their biggest streamers as rich as possible, and instead moving to try and provide people who are starting out streaming, or in an effort to make it their job, more tools and more money coming their way through ads, better sub splits, and things that were only available to people who had hundreds of thousands of viewers and followers prior to this. I'm not saying that a bunch of money probably disappeared that Twitch was just giving Pokimane under the table, but to speak to every large streamer, if you're going to be able to make similar amounts of money regardless of where you stream, it probably doesn't make sense for you to sign an exclusivity contract to only stream on one platform if they're no longer giving you a financial incentive to continue to do so. You'd be signing off your ability to work with anybody else, stream with other people, make money on other platforms, and in exchange, if they're not giving you cash, a better sub split, or anything other than a contract that puts a check mark next to your name, I mean, Why would you continue to stream there exclusively? It's easy to see at the size of Pokimane while she may no longer see any real benefit to streaming on Twitch. If they're not giving her any exclusive benefits or any large sums of money to keep her streaming on the platform exclusively, it doesn't make a ton of sense for her to sign a contract that says she isn't allowed to stream anywhere else. But pair that with all the changes that Twitch is making for people closer to our size, the everyday streamer. They're making it so that they're no longer spending millions of dollars retaining some of their biggest talent, which can now be reinvested into smaller streamers. You now get better sub splits for the money donated to you, so you get more of the money people are sending your way. You no longer need to be making $30,000, $40,000 a month to have the power to negotiate your contracts. You just get that if you have enough subs. You get ad splits just like on YouTube, so you can make money for people watching you even if they don't donate money. You are no longer punished for streaming on other websites. You can stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time with no downside to you if you feel like it. With Twitch loosening all of these rules that they had before, providing more money to what affects the vast majority of streamers rather than the just absolute 1%, and them doing this on a path in which they're trying to accomplish it and keep the company stable, profitable, longevity aiming even, everything's starting to come up Millhouse. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people who are going to take Pokimane moving away from Twitch and starting to stream on YouTube as a clickbait headlight to just say that Twitch sucks, that they're not profitable, that they laid off a bunch of people, that they don't know what they're doing, and their biggest streamers are leaving in droves to go hang out somewhere else. But if you take a look at it closer, over the course of time, people end up continuing to stream on Twitch. You've seen Ninja and Shroud get bought out for tens of millions of dollars by Mixer, and then when Mixer disappeared and they had the option to stream wherever they want to, they ended up back on Twitch. You take a look at people like Harris Heller and Ludwig, who decided to move away from Twitch in its entirety to stream on YouTube because they thought it was a better platform and were very vocal about the fact that they thought YouTube was a better platform. And Harris Heller has moved back to streaming on Twitch for some amount of time. Ludwig has announced that now that he's no longer partner exclusive with YouTube, his bigger events will be multi-streamed on both websites because Twitch just has an audience that you don't necessarily want to give up. XQC signed a $100 million contract and his only obligation is to stream on Kick sometimes. And the dude still streams on Twitch sometimes. He doesn't have to. He could retire tomorrow, never make another dollar in his life, and still be richer than I could ever fathom to be, and he won't give up the pogs. It's clear even without deep analytical dives or a cultural understanding of the differences between streaming that Twitch is something special. The long-term fan base that is on Twitch that has been watching live streams and nothing but live streams can't be beat if what you want to do is stream live. On YouTube, they have a lot of the same tools, they have a much bigger audience, but because YouTube is primarily a video-driven platform, 99% of people who click on YouTube are looking to see some high-quality, well-edited, no waste of time video, perfectly curated for whatever they happen to be interested in, served to them. And to be able to compete with that you can kind of just watch endlessly and throw up a couple live streams that are more casual, chit-chatty, video game let's plays that you're expected to either talk to, spend money, wait half an hour before something interesting happens, it just doesn't thrive there as well. Every time that I've gone live on YouTube, and this has been years ago at this point, I ended up losing a bunch of subscribers because people would get a notification that SumitoMedia is doing something, and when they saw that it wasn't a video or something that they can laugh at for 10 minutes, and it's instead just me sucking ass at Sly 3 Band of Thieves, that's not what they signed up for on YouTube, and so it reflects negatively on my channel. Versus somewhere on Twitch where the vast majority of people are just vibing, casual, chit-chat, playing video games for 5-6 hours at a time. Because that's what everybody's doing, the expectation of somebody clicking on a stream matches what that person is actually looking for, and it just works. Whereas on YouTube, you have to compete with these videos that have the clickiest thumbnails, the most attractive titles. They make you want to click. They make you want to jump from video to video to video. There isn't any real reason for you to be watching on YouTube and then decide to dedicate 3 hours of you vacuuming and working at work to listening to somebody bitch about Pokemon with guns. Twitch is just better at that. Pokimane's situation does kind of make me wonder what the real story is here, because I don't think it's as simple as she just wants to try streaming on YouTube, although it might be. But the way that she talks about the fact that Twitch's ineffective ban methods and the fact that they're not good about enforcing rules, people getting banned unfairly, a tire policy and what have you, Pokimane isn't a titty streamer. She isn't somebody like Amaranth, whose entire livelihood is pushing the limits of what's allowed on the platform and getting banned dozens of times over the last couple of years. She does reactions and gameplay and commentary. She's effectively the same type of streamer that I am, although not as good at video games. So she doesn't necessarily have to worry too much about Twitch's longevity on those fronts. And it wouldn't be all that different for her to stream on YouTube. In fact, she would probably take a massive pay cut just because not 100% of her watching, paying, enjoying audience on Twitch would immediately jump over to YouTube. That's never been the case so far. So I wonder if it does have something to do with the changes, with them taking away some of the power from bigger streamers. Maybe she was receiving some sort of retainment contract that she's no longer getting, and it no longer makes as much financial sense. Or maybe she's trying to make a movement and make a point to moving to a platform that she feels is more fair and better about enforcing their rules. Or maybe she just wants to try YouTube. I am interested in seeing what Pokimane ends up doing, because on YouTube, she's going to be one of many YouTubers that have millions upon millions of subscribers, and she'll be a much bigger fish, or a smaller fish in a much bigger pond. Whereas on Twitch, she is one of the biggest faces on the platform, and if that isn't enough to keep her wanting to continue to stream there, it might cause a wave of people rethinking where it is they want to stream, because if the person who gets all of the benefits and all of the free passes from the platform because she's one of the biggest streamers decides it's still not worth it, that might mean something for everybody else who's also looking to pick between which one of the streaming platforms they decide to stream on. So that's most all I've got to say on the matter. If you guys have any insight or any questions, please let me know down in the comments. Remember to use discount code Sumito to save an additional 10% on our sponsor, Into the AM. Big shout out to those guys. Thank you to the patrons. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want more news, memes, whatever this show is. It's starting to lose its grasp over time. And I'll catch you guys on the next one, yeah? Peace!